And the next time, we may not be so lucky.
They kill by the millions. They kill in numbers that the human imagination simply cannot comprehend.
I used to think, well, we possess nuclear weapons in order to prevent their use. We now know we live in a world in which if we possess them, if anyone possesses them, they will be used.
I don't see any good that a nuclear weapon could do or bring to the world.
In my opinion, you can forget it.
I think they should be destroyed.
I think we'd be better off without it.
There's 183 countries in the world that do not have nuclear weapons. Many of these countries could have nuclear weapons. They've chosen not to.
We've decided to take a 180-degree turn in South Africa. When I became president, I was then informed that we have completed 6 devices, more or less comparable to the bombs which were actually used at Hiroshima. I indicated that I would like us to stop this program and to become part of the mainstream in the world again.
The only way to eliminate the threat of nuclear terrorism is to eliminate all nuclear weapons in all countries.
We've got to ensure that never once do terrorists succeed in detonating a nuclear weapon.
When you think about nuclear security, it's all about the material. The simple physical fact is that if you don't have fissile material, either highly enriched uranium or plutonium, for example, then you cannot have a nuclear weapon. The focus is all about the material. Stop making new material. Secure the material where you know it is around the world, and make sure that you detect illicit transfer of material, and then start getting rid of the material you have.
Today in the world we have about 1,700 tons of HU. So that's enough material for the order of 50 to 100,000 weapons, and to really create a truly international system for these facilities.
International fuel banks or international reprocessing centers. That'd be a much safer world.
We haven't lost an ounce of gold from Fort Knox. We shouldn't lose an ounce of plutonium or highly enriched uranium.
During the Cold War, I believed in the value of nuclear weapons to deter an attack. 20 years after the fall of the Berlin Wall, there's no excuse any longer for keeping nuclear weapons on launch-ready alert. We can remove all of the warheads on our missiles, share our safeguards technology, and establish a joint warning center to ensure nuclear war cannot happen by mistake.
When I came into government in the early 1980s, the idea that within about 10 years, both sides would have agreed to a 50% reduction in their nuclear weapons would have sounded absurd, but we achieved it. That means a reduction of more than 5,000 nuclear warheads apiece. We have gone almost 20 years now without any really demonstrative steps to nuclear reductions.
This has to be a step-by-step process. That's how we did it with chemical weapons. These weapons are now taboo.
The Soviet Union imploded when I was Secretary of State, and we actually got an enforceable treaty where we got Belarus, Kazakhstan, and Ukraine to give up their nuclear weapons. All countries in the world have to sign a legally binding, intrusively verifiable agreement to rid the world of nuclear weapons.
The choice we face is eliminate nuclear weapons. We're living in a world with 25 or 30 nuclear powers. We can do this. There has to be a carefully orchestrated process of reductions. The United States and Russia, with 96% of the world's nuclear weapons, have to lead the way.
We're starting in a world where there are 23,000 nuclear weapons. The very first step is to cut those arsenals dramatically in the United States and Russia. Once you get down to low hundreds in the world, then you will have built up the confidence and the mechanisms to ensure that you can verify this process so that we can get rid of the last one.
No, should be 0. I say 0.
坚决废除它。
Never heard
Withdraw
it.
the knockout. Then what should you do with this code?
Without remote, but pure.
No, 0, 0.
no nuclear weapons. Zero.
Zero.
No country should have.
The optimum number is none.
Ideal will be zero. Zero nuclear weapons.
Ноль. А вот сейчас я с другой стороны. Новое поколение вместо болтовни занимается серьезной работой. Это все позволяет нам надеяться, что может возродиться этот процесс.
We've taken important steps forward to increase nuclear security and to stop the spread of nuclear weapons. This starts with the reduction of our own nuclear arsenals. This legally binding treaty will be completed this year.
The arms control agreements we negotiated between the United States and Soviet Union. You think these were independent initiatives taken by governments. But the fact is public opinion had a big role to play in the process.
President Kennedy, after he passed the Limited Test Ban Treaty, and whenever he mentioned it on the stump afterwards, he got thunderous applause, and he quipped, "If I had known it was so popular, I would have done it a long time ago."
Elimination of nuclear weapons have not yet been agreed to by the political leaders of the world. It's a revolutionary idea, but they can be eliminated.
We have to change our way of thinking. And if we can't change our way of thinking, we won't survive. It's that simple. I've changed my thinking, and millions of other people are changing their thinking, and frankly, if you've never changed your mind about something, I say, pinch yourself. You may be dead.